Kristin.
Sorry, I had to add permissions or something for my phone to let me in.
It's okay. Every single person's Facebook or is like so weird with this live thing. Every week or every month, I mean, I have some other new problem. But thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm super excited. And it looks like Megan just joined us. That's so much fun. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of people join that are interested in Epcot.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, Epcot is a really fun, exciting park. And, if you have never been to Disney, you might be really confused thinking, like, I have even had people ask me, like, so there's Disney World, but then there's, like Animal Kingdom. They're confused. They don't understand that it's all encompassing Disney World. And then there are four parks.
Yes.
They think that that Disney World is a park, and that is very confusing given that Disneyland is a park. So anyway.
Yes. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, like, I've had some clients who are planning on just skipping Epcot. They're like, it's a adult park, and I'm like, no, that's like my son's one of his favorite. Like, he loves Anna and Elsa, so like Epcot's like his
Yes,
number one stop.
it has like some of the best rides. Some people go there, especially if you have Park Hopper, will go there specifically for a couple of rides. And I'll tell you, I would go there specifically to eat.
Yes.
So
Yes, definitely.
yeah. So let's get into a little bit about Epcot and what it offers. So it's, for anybody watching, it is the one with the big ball, the big tennis ball, which, in case you did not know, is a ride as well. So, it's not just a big figure, and so the castle you can go eat inside and you can walk through, but it's not kind of this, to me it's different because the whole ball is a ride. So
Yes.
I think that's really cool. And something that a lot of people skip because they don't understand or know what it is, or maybe it's intimidating seeing that big ball, but I think it's a lot of fun. It's a really slow moving historical ride. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, we always do it, and it's great for families with kids too because there's no height restriction on it.
Yeah,
So even infants can go on.
absolutely.
So it's a nice calm break too. There's AC if it's really
Yeah.
hot out. So
AC, great place to take a nap. And honestly, like, don't let that long line scare you because it goes so fast. It's a continuously moving ride, I guess. So that line is never, I mean, that ride probably has like more than a 10-minute wait.
yeah,
So
if it does, it's very, very crowded,
yeah,
but it'll still go by really fast.
absolutely. Yeah. So that is a good one to hit for sure.
Oh,
Hi.
life with her.
We have a special guest tonight.
Yes.
So, what is your favorite ride in Epcot?
So I think it's hard, like nostalgia wise, it's definitely Figment. Like I love Figment. Do you like Figment? You usually like
You
Figment.
don't.
So we really like Figment.
I like Mama.
You like Mom? Yeah, thank you. Do you like the
Aw.
Frozen ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Frozen ride's really cool too. We love that ride.
It is good.
I haven't had a chance to go on Guardians yet, but my
Oh.
teenager.
Guy falling.
Oh, whoa. But yeah, I haven't been on Guardians, but they swear it's like the best rides if
So
you can
good.
get onto it. So
It is so good. And I'll tell you, I think that I'm calling myself a recovering thrill ride. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the term is, but I used to think I hated thrill rides. Like, I do not ride roller coasters. I don't ride anything that I thought was scary. But I changed that up a little bit when I went to Disney because one, Disney coasters are not that intense, for the most part. So I wanted to try them. So I tried Barnstormer. Then I did Big Thunder Mountain, Seven Dwarfs, and I love those. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go crazy. I'm gonna get on Guardians. It's a couple minutes. Like, if I get scared, it's okay. Like, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna be okay. So I got on it and I loved it. Megan says she loves Guardians too. It's her favorite. Guardians is, I mean, I thought it was so much fun. So now I'm thinking maybe I do like thrill rides, and I just didn't. I thought I didn't this whole time. So, I don't know what to call myself, a recovering scaredy cat. I think I lost. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I think I got muted.
There we go. It's okay.
The last time we were there, I just wasn't able to go on it for the rider switch. We like missed the time to go on. So I'm like, next time. There's so much to do. Like Epcot, there's food and there's characters and there's rides. It's just like I feel like I need the whole week at Epcot to do it all.
Yeah. It's definitely a full day park, maybe 2 day. So speaking on that, Rider Switch, would you mind telling our viewers about Rider Switch and what that is?
Sure. So if you have kids who are under a certain height requirement or they're just not ready to do it for whatever reason, they're scared or, maybe there's like mobility issues or something, they just can't ride it. You're able to go to the blue umbrella before you get into line and they'll scan everybody's card or magic band. And if there's multiple people, a couple of you go first. And then when the next group goes, you're able to go in through the lightning lane. So someone is always with that other child that's not able to go on the ride. So what we were able to do, and my oldest loved this, was my oldest and husband went first. They waited in line. I stayed with the baby. And then I went through the lightning lane with my oldest, so he got to go on the rides twice. So he really enjoyed that because there's only 3 of us. So
Yeah.
he was able to take advantage of going on the rides twice. So he
That's
really
awesome.
enjoyed that. And it's nice to be able to go through the lightning lane when you go the second time because some of the lines can get really long. So, if they're waiting in line for an hour and then I have to go back in line and wait for an hour, that's 2 hours. We take him to do other things like rides that are shorter or go see characters or whatever. But it's a lot of time that we have to be apart. So it's nice that when you go the second time, it's through the lightning lane. You still have to wait a little bit. But at least, it's not as much time where we have to split up. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's wonderful that they offer that at Disney. It makes it a lot easier on families. So, and I see people use it all the time. So that's great. So, my favorite ride. I really love
so hard.
Remy's. I know. I really love Remy's. I really love Three Caballeros, even though
Yeah,
I
that's
know
fun
it's
too.
like old and like a little kid ride kind of, but I love it so much. I think the nostalgia, like you said, kind of does that for me. But I really love Remy, Frozen. So I actually, this is going to be maybe a good question for you. I am a fan of Mission Space. I'll ride both orange or green. I like them a lot, but that is not a common opinion. So how do you feel about Mission Space?
So when I was younger, I would go on like either version, and now I just don't do it at all. Honestly.
Everybody I know is
just
like,
like, you guys can go. I'll go on Figment with a little one, and like I'm good.
That is right. Everybody, but just about that I know is like, no, thank you. That makes me sick. Like, I'm not doing it. So I really like it though. My husband and I both like it. I will say I tried the orange for the first time last year maybe, and I was like, that is a bit more intense. This poor guy beside me, he was like such a big guy, like just big, tall, big, like he was like beside me like this, and he was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It was so funny. I was like, is he okay? But it was good. I really enjoy it, but that is not a ride. I would warn you, if you're watching this and you are motion sick in the slightest, please, like they have it posted everywhere in that ride, all over the place. Like, don't come in here if you're motion sick. Don't ride this ride. And I think you should heed that warning.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. There are not a ton of rides at Epcot, honestly, but the ones that are there, I think, are great. So, another one I really, really, really love is Living with the Land. That's just like a crowd favorite, I think. I think it's so fun, and everybody I know loves it. So,
Especially if you're able to go for the holidays, like right now they have the glimmering or the shimmering greenhouse.
yes.
It's so pretty. Like I could just stay going around and around,
Yeah.
looking at all
Yeah.
the lights, and it's just so pretty in there. I mean, it's pretty anyway, but with
Yep.
all the lights on, especially if you go like during the night when it's all dark, it's so pretty.
Yeah, Jackie just went and posted videos like on our story of that, and I had to share them because I was like, oh, I love it, and I wish I was there.
I know we went in November and like we like missed it by I think like a week. And I was like, oh man.
No
But I
fair.
was like, I knew we were going to because we weren't going after Thanksgiving. So I was like,
Yeah.
next year maybe.
That is a favorite. And in addition, I don't, most people, I don't think a lot of people know this, but so our viewers might not, you can do a behind the scenes tour called Behind the Seeds. And I think that's really cool. Like, that's on my bucket list. I want to do that one day. That is really cool that you can like go and walk around and see like the behind the scenes stuff of living with the land. Have you ever done anything like that? Any of the,
I haven't. I
yeah.
wanted to, and like sometimes when you're on the ride, you can see
Yeah.
people. The other thing I'm not sure if people know is everything that's grown in there is used like in
Yep.
restaurants around the park. So like the seafood and all the vegetables and everything, those are it's like a greenhouse to
Yeah.
table. So those are served across the resort, like all across Disney World, not just Epcot.
Yep.
So it's really cool to
Especially
see.
Garden Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. Garden Grill too. Another point on that is that you can like, it's a restaurant that you sit in and you move, like you go around living with the land. I think that's so cool. It's like you know, that whole little setup. Who that was just genius when they came up with that. Just genius.
It was. We
Very,
actually
very
just
cool.
ate there when we were there. And I have to say, because it's smaller in size, the characters kept coming around and coming around. And they had some of those amazing interactions. Like, I have some pictures. I don't know if I posted them on Facebook yet, but of my son with Chip and Dale. And then I think Pluto too. And they're just like looking down at the ride. And he asked them if, the house of the dog. He's like, "Is that your house?" And Chip was like, "Mm-hmm." So
Oh,
that's now Chip and Dale's house.
good. That's something I didn't know. So
Yeah.
that's great.
There's it's such great interactions with the
Yeah.
characters too there.
Oh, that's awesome. A little fun fact in case our viewers did not know this. A lot of people tell me they're like, "Well, I don't know which one's Chip and which one's Dale." Chip has the dark nose and it's like a chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip.
So that's how I remember. Um, what other characters are there at Garden Grill? Goofy or Pluto?
Chip, Dale, Pluto, and Farmer Mickey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the costumes at these character meals. I think their outfits, or not costumes, their outfits are so fun. Like I love Farmer Mickey and Chef Mickey and Artist Mickey.
Yes.
I just love
Oh
them
yeah.
all. That is so fun how they have like a different, look at every restaurant. But that is really cool to know that if you're going to go to Garden Grill, you're going to get basically more for your money because you're getting such a lengthy meet and greet, and then maybe you don't have to go meet them in the park and save you some time.
Yeah, they came around multiple times and they were, they were great. They signed and they said hello, but then they came back and like I said, they just hung out with him and they were like looking off of because the around where you sit in a circle, it's like clear glass that's a border, so you can look straight through and see everything.
Oh wow.
You can see into living with the land. There's like the desert area, there's the house area. And so they were just like crouching down and just watching as we like, and you go really slow. So like you don't even really notice you're moving unless you like look up. So I don't think if you're motion sickness that it would bother you because it is really slow. You just have to watch like getting on and off because there is like a little bit like because it is moving. But
Yeah, true.
yeah, it's not bad at all.
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because I bet a lot of people would be worried about that after reading the description.
Yeah, it's
Have
slow. It's not fast.
barely moving. Yeah. Have you eaten at any other character dinners or character meals? Sorry, at Epcot.
We did. We also did. I'm gonna say it wrong.
Oh.
Oscar shoot. I can't say
what you were gonna say.
Yeah,
It's so hard.
it's so hard. So we did breakfast there.
Okay.
And it was awesome. They had Ariel, Snow White, Tiana, Aurora,
Yes.
and Belle.
Okay.
I have to go back and look at my pictures because I can't remember. But it's so cute because like before they come in, they play their song and they do like a
Oh.
little like they dance through the whole place and they go around and then they'll come around and they'll like sit with the kids and take pictures and do the autographs. But like when they're introduced, they do like they play their song and they come in and they do like a little dance around the castle and it's like a Norwegian castle. I feel like it's a really good um option if you don't want to or can't afford or get Cinderella's royal table because you're still in a castle. It's a Norwegian castle, but it's great. The staff is great there. The character interactions are great.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
That is a good point because there is a pretty hefty price difference between the two. So thank you for bringing that up because Cinderella's Royal Table is not can I mean not everyone can afford that or get that because it's a very busy place.
It
People are always
is.
snatching up that reservation. So yeah, so that's a good point. But my cousin, the last trip we took, she took her little girl there and they said they loved it and it was a great breakfast. And Callie said she loved it too. So that's awesome. If you want to go see the princesses, I am surprised they don't have Anna and Elsa, considering they're like, Norwegian and like right there. But maybe in the future, or I don't know. Who knows?
I wish they would, but
Yeah. Yep. So let's see. Have I ate at Space 220, which is not a character meal, but it is still a sit down meal. On not my last trip, the trip before, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It's for me, it was very much a one and done. But not because it wasn't great, but just because I like to experience like everything. And if you're going to sit down meals on park days, you got to be kind of quick, and you can't be doing a lot of them. I don't want to usually eat. I don't feel like I can eat as much as I would all the time, but it is nice to go in and get some AC, go and sit down and get a nice little bite and a drink. And it was really cool. Like the difference, you feel like you're in space and all the little pre-show, like is what I call it, that takes you up there. It's really cool. But I probably wouldn't do it again just because I want to see so many different things. Maybe once I've done everything, which will never happen, because Disney's always changing.
yeah.
But I really did enjoy Space 220. I thought that was a lot of fun and a lot of good drinks. And just so, in case you didn't know, you can go and you can, if you didn't make a reservation for Space 220, you can always walk up and say, hey, I don't have a reservation, but if you have any room at the bar, I'd be happy to, go in and sit there. And if they have availability, they'll let you in. And that's what we did actually. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. So we got to go in and just sit at the bar and enjoy. I'm trying to think, have I eaten anywhere else? Oh, I did also eat at, oh shucks. What is the name of that? What is the name of that, Finding Nemo?
Oh,
Coral
Coral
Cafe.
Reef. I haven't been there
Yeah.
in a long
Or
time, but
Coral
I
Reef.
did
Yes.
years ago, probably like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID
What was your
was the
experience?
last time I ate. It was so nice. We were lucky. We were able to get like right up at the tank, but I feel like they don't have a lot of options.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't go with the kids because I'm like they're not gonna like even like my oldest is 13 and I'm like he's not gonna eat anything and it's just gonna be like I don't want to say a waste because it would be a cool experience, but I feel like there's not as much variety there as there are at other places. So the atmosphere is definitely 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
but there just weren't a lot of choices to do. So we went when it was just adults, but with the kids we were like we're gonna skip that and try something else.
I agree. We went. I probably wouldn't go again. Not that the food was bad; it was good. But I don't know. I guess in my mind, eating in an aquarium was like really cool.
Yeah.
And then going there, I was like, well, it's okay. It just wasn't like as like wow as I expected. I guess.
Yeah.
So we probably wouldn't go again. But there's nothing wrong with it if you want to go eat there. The food was good. So
Yeah. The food was good. I was
Yeah.
just like with kids.
Yeah.
I mean, some kids are more adventurous, but mine are like mac and cheese and chicken nuggets.
Well,
type of
and I
kids,
do
so.
feel like it is a little bit more like not fancy, but like I don't know, like the dim lighting and I don't know. To me, it just felt like probably more of like an adult style restaurant. Yep. Now I have eaten at plenty of the kiosks or whatever you want to call them, the little food stands. I love those, and I try so hard to like just hit a bunch of them. But then, like I said, then I get really full because it's so hot and all that. But I love to go to those, especially during a festival time. Um, they have the whole food and wine festival, which is like the big thing at Epcot. It lasts so long, but I see why, because I'm sure that a lot of people go to it and want to be able to go to it different times. I love the Food and Wine Festival. I think that it is a lot of fun. I wish it wasn't during the summer because I would go more if it were like in January. But um, there's so much to offer. So let's talk a little bit about Epcot festivals. So we've already started kind of on the Food and Wine Festival. So in case you don't know and you're watching, that is Epcot has let's see, 4 festivals per year.
There's 4, yeah.
Yeah, and food and wine is one of them. And so basically, you can go to each little food building. I don't know, what are they called? I can't.
Are they
Maybe.
kiosks? Is that what they call
Yeah,
them?
I think I said it the first time, but then it didn't feel right.
Carts.
So you go up to those, and they have like food and drinks and all kinds of stuff that you can buy, and it's tailored to that festival. So and actually every festival has food that is tailored towards that. So you may go and get like, for instance, during the Food and Wine Festival, they had like a little fry flight, and I loved that. That was so fun. Like, it was just something different that they don't have all year. And they also pop up more locations for that, considering it is like all about food and wine. Another favorite of mine is the Festival of the Arts. I love walking around and seeing all the different artists' um, paintings and pictures and all sorts of different art, even like the sidewalk chalk art. That is amazing to me. That blows me away. Like, it literally looks like you could jump into some of those, and I'm like, it just blows me away. If I could have carried them and also afforded them, I would have bought many of the pieces of art last time I went. I love, love, love it. So, for example, food that you could get there would be like, maybe they have like a little artist palette cookie. So I think that's really cool. In addition, they decorate for these different festivals. So there's like a big sign as you walk in, and it'll say Festival of the Arts, and then you'll have like some paintbrushes and things like that, and I think that's so cute. I really like the Flower and Garden Festival. Of course, I'm a big plant girl, so I had to go see the topiaries. I thought those were so cute, and they had a lot of them.
I think that's
Like, have you ever
my
been during?
favorite.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Oh, I love it. um it is. I mean, they had them everywhere. Like, they had Toy Story ones, and they had Lion King ones, and Beauty and the Beast. And what is your favorite topiary that you've ever seen?
Um, I think maybe Beauty and the
Oh,
Beast, but they're
it's
just
gorgeous.
also cool because it's crazy when you think that it's all real.
Yeah,
Like, it's all real flowers and
yeah,
bushes, and like there's someone who sits there and like plants them together and grooms them, to make sure that they stay looking like what they're supposed to. It's just they're so cool. But
absolutely.
there are just so many. They're everywhere.
Yep.
And
They're all over the place. And there's actually something I want to say on Disney Plus that is like a little video that shows you the people making them in advance. And I thought that was really cool. I watched that, and I was like, well, this is such a cool, like, behind the scenes type thing. I'm a very, like, how does it work type person.
yeah.
And so I love that. I thought that was really, really cool. So I watched all that and watched them. Like, I mean, it takes a long time. They don't just do it overnight, which,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me, because for festivals, sometimes they do swap stuff overnight. I also watched a video on that on Disney Plus. They just like take it from one to the next. But when they're making those topiaries, they make them like offsite or somewhere in the back or something like that, for like weeks or months or whatever, and then they bring them in. I just think that is so cool, and I can't imagine like me carrying a bunch of I don't know, flowers,
Yeah.
plants, and like setting them up. So that's really, my hat is off to the artists that do that. I think that's amazing and good for them. And also, how does Disney find these people? This
I
is like
know.
this. I did not know that there were people that were like that talented that like did stuff. Like that is just. Or do they train them? I don't know. It's
I
so
don't
cool.
know.
It blows my mind. It truly blows my mind. And last but not least is the Festival of the Holidays, which is one of my very favorites. I enjoy it so much. Did you get a chance to experience that on this trip?
So we were there too early this
Oh,
trip. We
okay.
went, just my husband and I in 2017 for
Okay.
our Disney moon. We went over Christmas break and
Nice.
we were able to experience a little bit of it then. It was super crowded.
Okay.
So if you can go before Christmas
Yeah.
break week, like between Thanksgiving and before then, it's not going to be as crowded.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so cool because each country comes out and has like their own, like they show you their traditions and like their versions of Santa Claus and their versions of like their what their country would do
Yeah.
during the holidays. So it's really cool. And of course, food.
Oh,
They have the
the
cookie
food always.
stroll and
Yeah, that cookie stroll. This stupid piece of hair. I'm sorry. I keep messing with it, but it keeps falling. This yeah, I love the cookie stroll. And Kyle and I did like the whole thing and then videoed it, and we were like deciding which cookie. And he's like a big gingerbread fan, and they had like a big giant gingerbread cookie. That was one of the cookies. So if you don't know what that is, the cookie stroll is something you can go and do. The stroll is free, the cookies are not. So you go and you pick up a little booklet, and you walk around and you say, okay, I want the cookie for this kiosk. And so lots of different countries, lots of different areas have different cookies. I mean, there's like 10, 15, something like, there's a lot.
yeah,
And you can buy, once you buy a certain amount, you get stamps in your book. And once you buy a certain amount, you get like a little prize at the end, which is usually something that has to do with it. I think it's really funny that like, you're like, oh, you just ate 6 cookies. Here's another cookie. I'm like, okay, I'm cookied out. But I can't remember what we got last. I think you got like a Wish cookie when I went last to it because Wish was just coming out. So it was like the star.
yeah,
So that was really cool.
that's cute.
Yeah, it was. And oh, and maybe like a little peppermint shake, I think. It was like tiny, but it was a cute little glass, and it's just something fun to do. I think that's something else really cool that Epcot does is they always have for like every festival, they have like a little
Like
game or
passport booklet
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
passport, yeah. So one, if you're trying to navigate around, that gives you like something to go on, you're not just kind of wandering. They also usually have little games. Like there was a Find the Olaf game.
Yes.
And so you went around and you put a sticker on. Now you did have to pay for that one, but you also get a prize at the end. So you go and you like see, or it'll say like in the Morocco Pavilion, and you'll say, oh, spotted him, and then put your sticker on. And then you take it at the end and you get a little prize. So that's kind of fun. Epcot is full of like fun little things like that to do. So there is no reason to be bored at Epcot.
Yeah, and they have Kid Cot too at all of the
That
countries,
is,
so you can stop and do like a little craft.
yeah.
Each of the areas for the kids if they want to do that as they go around to the countries. They have little activities and
Tell us a little bit, because I don't have kids. So tell us if you've done that, what does that look like? Like if you go to a Kid Cot area.
So each of the countries has a Kid Cot area. We didn't go to a lot of them because there's so much to do, but we were able to go in Epcot. It was inside the Mexico Pavilion, kind of like there's stairs that go both ways, and it's kind of in the middle of like the circle when you come around, and they have a cast member there, and they have like little activities. They have markers, and they have like these little cards for each of the countries, and it's just like a cute little stop where the kids can go. And I think there might be a passport. Like I said, we didn't really go to a lot of them. We just kind of stopped there. But you can go to each of the countries and the kids can learn about the countries and do a little activity. So it's just an extra, like, and it's free. So it's just an extra added activity that they can do.
Yeah, so see, full of activities,
Yeah.
like so much to do at Epcot. I really like the let's say like experiences, I guess. So like you can go to Moana's Journey of Water over, and I think that's a really cool thing. One, very smart of Disney to incorporate a water activity. You know, so if you're like really, really hot, you can just walk over there and get sprayed by that water. um, and two, that Tafiti is huge and beautiful, and I love her so much. And there's also a photo pass opportunity there, so you can get your picture taken with Tafiti, and I think that's so cool.
We
What is
went at night and it was so pretty. Like everything was lit up, and like the ball is kind of like right behind Tafiti too. So
Yeah.
like you see her, you see the ball, you see like the water. It's like a whole magical experience in
Yes.
itself. Like you could spend so much time just hanging out there and playing in the
Feels like
water and everything. Like each area has their different things. Some of them like you get wet, some of them like it's programmed so you don't get wet.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be like soaking wet, you don't have to. There's like options.
Yeah, I think that there are
So-
like there's like one side that says like the wet side and one side says dry side or something. Yeah, so you're right. Like if you get a stroller and you're like, I'm not gonna get my stroller wet. But the kids are running through the wet. I think that's really cool. Yeah. What other? Let's see. So they have got like experiences. They've got a lot of shows happen there. So a lot of like concerts and like that the choir comes and does the you know, like where they have the candlelight
Yeah.
thing that they do there. That's a Christmas or festival of the holidays experience. I think that's really cool. So they have like a stage where you can just, you know, see all kinds of shows. What other
Like, we see the beat when we were there. They had like different bands, and I think one of the nights we didn't go because we just didn't have the time. But 98 Degrees was there, so sometimes they have like not so popular bands, but sometimes they have some pretty popular. Well, I mean, I guess they're not popular anymore, but when in the 90s,
for me that was I was like I would love to have seen that. Yeah, I think that is really, really cool. And let's see what other. I'm trying to think. I know that they have more. I'm just like blanking right now. But they did just put in that whole that new area over at Epcot. What is that called?
oh yeah, like there's a stage.
Yeah.
And
And they do Encanto, like little, like it's a band sets up there and everything, and they do like a little Encanto experience over there. That was kind of cool, and you can it's really close to the new statue of Walt and World Showcase. World, is that right? World? No, that's the World Showcase. Is that what is that place called? You know what I'm talking about with the new area? Discovery something. Anyway, that was kind of cool, and they have like a little cafeteria and a gift shop inside, and you can walk out through like I said, the Encanto band or whatever's going on there. It's a really great place for kids to go and chill.
well, that reminds me, Epcot also has like numerous playgrounds too
Oh,
that the
yes.
kids can go and play. So like you need them to just run for a little while.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is often
Yeah, I get it.
if they're
And not through the crowd.
gated and there's nice little. Some of them have like a little water. I don't think they all do, but there's areas for them to. I mean, the Moana area is a perfect spot for them to just go and play, not necessarily run because it's slippery, but
yeah, I get that. Yep. Another cool thing that I think it just sparked my memory is Club Cool at Epcot.
yes.
So you can go in and you can try like sodas from all around the world. Some are good, some are not. I tried a couple and I was like, "Ooh, who likes this? Like, who would like this?" And I just cannot imagine anybody liking like that Stony or the Beverly. Oh, they're so bad, so bad. But some of them are really good. So but there's like a huge wall, you know, of these soda machines, and you can go in there and get a little tiny cup, and you can yeah, just try them all. So that's really nice. And if you just need like a little refresher, that's pretty cool. Um, let's talk about meet and greet. So the characters and people that you can meet at Epcot. Who are your favorite?
So we always want to see Anna and Elsa. My son loves Frozen, so we always see Anna and Elsa. We do the character dining, so we were able to see the princesses at. I'm not even going to actors.
Yeah, sorry.
And Garden Girl, we were able to see some characters. But each of the countries, like, you have to check the app to see what times, but they'll have like Aurora or Belle or Snow White or Mary Poppins, even, Alice. So there's so many meet and greets. You just have to check the app to make sure that they're there.
Yep.
That you can meet in the different pavilions. So it's really cool. Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I love it because there's so many different characters to meet at Epcot. So you have Alice in Wonderland and Mulan and Jasmine, and not the same characters that you meet everywhere. And I'm glad that you brought that up. The My Disney Experience app will be your best friend at Disney. I use it like, it is a map, and I use it as a map of because I keep track of everything in there. I can find everything. If you don't know where you're going, it even has like a little navigation area. Like you just type it in, and it takes you right there on the map. So
Yep.
I think that's really cool. I also love that now you can meet Figment.
Yes. Oh, we met
Yeah.
Figment. We love Figment.
Yep. He's awesome. He's so sweet. You got to watch because he might whack you with his tail on accident though, because that big tail he's got. He's a lot taller than I expected. I think.
He's tall.
I was like, whoa. Yeah. And are there any? I'm trying to think. Are there any? I don't think there's any additions coming to Epcot right now. Is it? Like
No,
they
I
just
think
made
it's
all the
just Magic Kingdom and Hollywood
Okay.
Studios.
And Animal Kingdom is getting the
Oh yeah,
refurb on. Yeah.
yeah. Getting rid of Dino.
So everybody but Epcot, basically.
Yeah. I feel like Epcot just had walls up forever, though. So
That is so true. That's
they're
true.
due
They've
for,
just been through it. That is so true. Yep. So, well, then the last thing that I have to talk about for Epcot is the nighttime shows. Now during the holidays, they have a different show than the other times. I think so, right? I think they have like a special holiday show, or Magic Kingdom definitely does.
Yeah,
Maybe they
Magic
don't. Maybe
Kingdom
Epcot.
does.
Maybe Epcot didn't. But they did just change their show like in the last year or so. And I loved it. We went and saw it, and I thought it was amazing. Let's see. I have the name written down here because I always forget the name of it. It is oh no, I don't have it written down. Anyway, not important. But the fireworks show at the end of the night is wonderful. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot better than the one that they used to have. They do it right in the middle of the World Showcase, the water, and I think that it brought me to tears. I loved it so much, and the cool thing is you can be all the way around that area and see it. Unlike at the other places you kind of gather. This is you could be anywhere around the World Showcase and see it still. So I love that so much. I thought that the fireworks show was the perfect way to end the night and to just like wrap up your perfect day at Epcot.
And what's nice too, we had some some days that were not park days, and if you are on a Skyliner resort, or if you're able to take the Skyliner back to Hollywood Studios, you could watch the fireworks from the Skyliner and not even need a park ticket, because we did that a couple of times.
That is yes. And oh my gosh, the fireworks, if you were like while you're on
they're like right here. You're like
So I'm so glad you brought that up because that was in my notes and I skipped right over it. But transportation is such a big deal at Epcot. So you have the Skyliner, you have buses, you have the monorail. There's so many options, as well as if you're staying on the boardwalk, beach club, yacht club, Swan and Dolphin, any of those resorts, you're within walking distance. So
super easy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, actually I think it might be, is it listed in within walking distance? No, never mind. That's Magic Kingdom. I was going to say the Contemporary, but I think that's Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, they could monorail.
Yeah.
To the TTC
around.
Then take the monorail to Epcot.
So now this is one thing that I have found not like annoying, I guess, because I understand it, but it caught me up one time. So I feel like I need to mention it. So if you are riding the monorail, I mean the Skyliner, you can't get on the Skyliner at Epcot unless you have a park ticket. Like, so say you're coming from somewhere else, not on the Skyliner. You can't get on the Skyliner at Epcot and go back to your resort. You have to, unless that's your park ticket day. So, because it's around the back of it's at the International Gateway. So,
So
that
what we'll
is,
do, like what we did the days that we didn't have
yeah,
the park ticket, we would bus to Hollywood Studios, and then we would
yes,
monorail to the hub, or not monorail, Skyliner to the hub, and
yes,
then from there get off and take the other Skyliner route to Epcot, and then
yes,
the same way to come back. If you're not on a Skyliner resort and you don't have a
yes,
ticket, because it drops you off at the International Gateway, it doesn't drop you off at the front of the park. So
yes,
if you can't get through, you have to walk through the park
yes.
to get to the Skyliner.
That is true. That is true. And I think that that's worth talking about, just because I'm like, I don't want to get, you know, you don't want to ruin your day by having a transportation mishap, because I've done that. Not ruin my day, but I have had a little mishap for sure. Um, can, is there a boat dock at Epcot? I think so.
I want to say yes,
Yeah.
but I don't remember where it
Well,
comes from.
I think so. The Boardwalk, Beach Club, Yacht Club, Swan and Dolphin all
Yes, they
have
don't
that
want to
little boat.
walk, I think.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think that that's an option. Oh yeah, it does. It's right beside the Skyliner entrance. Yeah, you get off
Oh,
there. Yep, that's
yeah,
or
yeah.
right
So
across from it.
it's
Yeah.
on that side.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the last question I have for you, and this is the most important Epcot question of all time. Everybody asks this question. Where do you start? At Epcot, Mexico or Canada?
So I have two answers. I have a current answer and I have a before children answer, because
Okay.
like I said, my son's obsessed with Frozen. So we now start in Norway.
Yes.
Because we have
Either.
to see Anna and Elsa and we have to do the Frozen ride. But pre-children, we started in Mexico.
I get it, for the margaritas first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I tried that margarita with the ants on the rim.
Oh, how's that?
It was fine. I just don't like tahini, I learned. And you can't even taste the ants. They're so minuscule. I mean, I was hoping I couldn't taste them.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to try this because it's, and it just wasn't, I mean, it was fine. I just didn't like the spice really on the rim, which people love tahini. Apparently I don't. I learned that day. Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball here. I like to start in France.
Nice. So you start midway too.
Yes.
You come in through the International Gateway? Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. Depending on where you come in, can change your answer too.
I like to stay on the Skyliner resorts. So then I'm jumping in at France and I'm like, all right, Remy's it is.
Remy's first.
Guess I'm waiting for Frozen. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Did you have anything else you wanted to share about Epcot before we jumped off?
I think that's it. If anybody has any questions, they can definitely let us know. There's so much, like I'm sure there's more that I'm not thinking of right now. But
that happens to me all the time. I'll get right off and be like, oh man, I didn't bring that up. But thank you, Kristin, so much for joining me. It is so much fun doing these lives once a month. And thank you for joining too, buddy.
Say hi and bye. Say thank you for having us.
And if anybody wants to have questions or wants to book a trip, please message me or Kristin, and her link will be down below. You'll be able to find her as well. So thank you again for joining me tonight, and you guys have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.